Senator Sanders and Secretary Clinton locked in a razor-tight race in Iowa. A Quinnipiac University poll of likely Iowa Democratic caucus goers putting Senator Sanders in the lead, but not by much. Senator Sanders grabbing 49% and Secretary Clinton just 4 points behind Senator Sanders at 45% and Governor Martin O'Malley at 4%. So is Secretary Clinton in trouble because some view her presidency as 4 more years of President Obama, suggesting Clinton that President Obama would make a great Supreme Court justice? That's what she also said.
The President will probably appoint several members of the Supreme Court. Would you consider appointing Obama?
Wow, what a great idea. I would certainly take that under advisement. I mean, he's brilliant, and he can set forth an argument.
Former Democratic presidential candidate Dennis Kucinich goes on the record. So Secretary Clinton, as she certainly is attaching her horse to his wagon, to President Obama. She's being as tight as she can to make it 4 more years Obama. Senator Bernie Sanders, not so much.
Well, Senator Sanders' campaign came to challenge some of the economic policies that resided in the Bush and Obama administration. And so, and he's got a lot of traction on that. Now, if the election is decided on the economics, Bernie Sanders will certainly win Iowa. If it's decided on other factors that might deal with familiarity and things like that, then Hillary Clinton might have the edge.
So what is your prediction?
Take a coin, flip it. This could go either way because it's all going to depend, as you've said it before on the program, how many can you get your vote out? I mean, Greta, I took the time to get the Iowa delegate selection plan. It's a 52-page document.
And what's that for?
This is to tell you what the mathematical formulas are in Iowa to figure out who's going to get how many delegates. And you know, it's kind of a complex formula.
Who figured that? Who did that?
Well, this is done by Iowans, and it's approved by the Democratic National Committee, and it's issued by the Iowa Democratic Party. But the reason why I mention this is that it's a very complex selection of delegates that's going on in Iowa. And it's going to complicate trying to actually forecast or predict, because Senator Sanders may have some areas, particularly in the college towns, where he'll absolutely have crushing victories. But in Iowa, you've got to have support across the state, not only broad, but deep as well.
You know, maybe I was sort of more irresponsible 20-year-old than a lot of 20-year-olds today, but, you know, I would imagine I'd show a lot of enthusiasm, you know, online if they'd had online for a candidate, said a lot of things, everything. But come caucus night, if I had to spend 3 hours with a bunch of essentially strangers in some big room, or I could go off with my friends. I mean, I might have said, I'm going to give you my vote, but, boy, you know, I might be tempted to go off with my friends. And, I mean, that's hard to turn out that young vote.
You know, listen, could there be some of that here? Yes, but I'll tell you, you have to acknowledge that Bernie Sanders has ignited the passion of a lot of young people. When you see, even though it's a throwback ad, the America ad.
It's a great ad, great ad.
It's one of the best political ads because it's about unifying, and young people are hungry for a unifier as president. So I think Bernie is going to do very well in Iowa. The question is, who's going to win? I don't know.
I know. Nobody knows. And, of course, if Gallup won't even do polling, I think the polls could be dead wrong. I'm terrified of the polls. They've been all over the map, too, I think. Sometimes Trump is up 14. Sometimes he's up 2. I mean, how could that be?
Tell me what your sample is, and I'll tell you how the polls are going to turn out.
And it's going to be a wild ride on Monday night. Anyway, Congressman, thank you, sir.
See you. Thanks.
And this coming Sunday, on the eve of the Iowa caucus, we are going to have a special Sunday edition of On the Record live from Iowa. That's this Sunday, January 31st, 7 p.m. We take you live to Iowa.